put to me is a creation of William Ruto. Just the way he convinced us that Raila is a witch doctor. He's a lot of poverty. Now that they are with Raila, he has now zeroed in on Gachagua as a tribalist. He says, I'm primitive, I'm retrogressive, I'm incompetent. He is very good with words, you know, and he's very persuasive. He's very abusive. You remember the abuses he gave against William Ruto. Those are the same now abuses he is targeting me. Every election he must have a target. Last election, the object of hatred created by William Ruto was Raila Odinga. He's a witch doctor. He doesn't go to church. He is the Lord of poverty. He is clueless. He has no plan. Now, this coming election of 2027, the whole game plan is regarding Gachagua. He's a tribalist. Oh, ni mtu wa shares. Huyu anianini. But people are also very intelligent. People are very intelligent. Okay. And they know now what they can trust and what they cannot trust. You know, you can fool some people sometime, but not all the people. But you cannot fool all the people all the time. People have known William Ruto now. Okay. He's been unmasked. Those insults he gives against people, nobody now can believe him because he's the one who told us Raila is a witch doctor. Today, 2 years down the line, he is saying Raila is the best man in Africa. So whatever he says now has no value, you know. If in the unfortunate event, God forbid, I went back to William Ruto and we patched up, he would now say Rigathi Gachagua is a nationalist. And now he's saying today I'm tribal. I am not tribal. That is a tag that William Ruto has tried to put on me, and in the fullness of time, the people of Kenya will know who Rigathi Gachagua is. They will know what I believe in. And many people, by the way, believe me because I'm truthful. In difficult circumstances, when this country was burning, when the president said Gen Zs are criminals, is Rigathi Gachagua who called a press conference and said, no, these are our children, they are our sons and daughters, and they should not be killed, they should not be abducted, they should be listened to.
Since we have adequate time till 11 p.m., I just want to take you back to your sentiments about Raila Odinga, because in the event you choose to support Raila Odinga, what makes you think you'll succeed where Uhuru failed? Persuading the mountain to vote for him.
I don't know. Well, let's cross the bridge when we reach there. Does Raila Odinga wants to be president, or he wants to support William Ruto? I think let's leave that discussion to when Raila Odinga has made up his mind. If he decides he wants to be president, then we can have that conversation. I think right now it is premature to talk about his candidature because we are not sure. I'm listening to Ruto people saying that he'll support Ruto. I'm listening to some ODM people whom the president has paid. And the president is very good in dividing people. And let me tell the ODM people, the same way he tried to divide the mountain, he's going to divide ODM. And you can see already some ODM characters who are being paid are already dividing ODM. You can find there is one section in ODM that is supporting William Ruto. There is another one of Akina, Sifuna, Orengo, Anyang, who are talking a different language. I see very serious attempt by the president to divide ODM. And you know, one time I asked him, when we were pushing Baba to go to African Union, and we were talking. We were not good friends, but we were talking. We would have a conversation. And I asked him, this Raila thing you are pushing, what's the head game? He said, fine, we want this Mzee to go to AU so that I can take over his block. I said, how will you take it up? He said, let's do ODM, I'll finish it, I'll destroy it, I'll take it over. And once Baba is gone, I'll have a few days, I'll get the MPs, everybody rally them behind me. That's what he told me then. And I think if Baba went, to a certain extent, he would have succeeded in dividing ODM. I don't think that is possible now, because I think Raila Odinga has built ODM for 20 years. I don't think even if he wants to work with William Ruto, he'll allow him to destroy ODM. I think he'll still want to have ODM as a strong party. And if he wants to have a coalition with William Ruto, he would have ODM as a distinct political entity. What I would not understand is at what he would be in that coalition, because Raila's dream has been to be president. And by his status, even age, experience, exposure, he is presidential. I don't know what other role he would play in a coalition with William Ruto, but that's his decision. Once he makes a decision what he wants, then we can have that discussion. But I think it's premature now to because we don't know. Because I hear a lot of Kaluma, Junet, those they are saying that they are backing William Ruto. So I think it's premature to discuss whether he can be supported or not, because he has not decided what he wants. Once he decides and he says he is a candidate, then we'll sit with Kalonzo, we'll sit with Wamalwa, we'll sit with Natebea, Matiang'i, myself and others, and we look at the whole scenario. And whatever suits Kenya, I want to, from my end, I'm very selfless. So is my community. Whatever suits Kenya, whatever formula that can work to restore this country, to bring back our country, to fix our economy, to fix our foreign relations. As we speak, we are in very bad state. And even, by the way, we had a very good candidate for the AU seat, Raila Odinga. But the president buggered it, by the way. You know, and I feel for Raila Odinga. And by the way, I wished him well. And honestly, from the bottom of my heart, I really wanted him to be the AUC chairman so that he can have a dignified exit. This is a man who has gone through hell. He has been in detention for 8 years. He almost lost his family. He's a man who has really struggled. He was championed the second liberation. He has fought for democracy. He was very instrumental in the 2010 constitution. I honestly, from the bottom of my heart, felt that if he became the AUC chair, it was a very dignified exit for a man who has given his life for this country. It didn't work because the government buggered it. By the way, had President William Ruto kept off that campaign, Raila would have been elected.
All right.
The minute he made, you know, people hate projects, not just here in the country, but even in Africa and the world. Raila Odinga was perceived to be a William Ruto project to take him to the AU to sort out his political problems in Kenya. And therefore, many African presidents had a problem with that, from what we gather. They said, we don't want William Ruto to dump Raila in AU to sort out his problems at home. So many people had a problem with that. Again, they were also not able to study the geopolitics in a proper manner and see how to handle them. Then the way the president handled the DRC issue, he rubbed many people the wrong way. Again, I don't know who advised these people. There was no need to take a cheering squad to Addis Ababa. You know, this election is a highly diplomatic maneuver, you know, whispering to the ears of presidents, because it was very demeaning to African presidents to think that you can persuade them to vote for Raila Odinga by bringing a cheering squad, singing Bado Mapambano outside the hall. I mean, it was very demeaning to African presidents.
So that was a diplomatic blunder.
It was a diplomatic blunder.
Okay.
This guy who won came with only 4 people. Because these are presidents, these are people who make decisions based on many facts. You cannot persuade them by cheering, by bringing a crowd to sing around there and all that. And even many diplomats were very offended by Kenya, by the kind of show that they took there to Addis. So the way that thing was handled, they goofed in a very big way.
Since you're talking about diplomacy,